So, hi. I did give a lightning talk on um, the charts in Qt at the lightning talks, and after that, there has been one feedback, and I've also found another library for using charts in Qt from KDAB. So I thought I quickly, update my slides and re-record this for you, as this is a version which probably is going to be forever on the internet. So let's make it a bit more complete than what it was prior to that. And let's get started. So I do like charts. You probably have seen that through the survey for quite some time, and I have some charts also, which I use for the job fair. And recently I've been playing around with the job fair data to kind of see, what can we know about the candidates from various job fairs. And so during that time, I got to the question, like, how do I get similar charts into a Qt application? What is out there? And I've been looking for two ways, for QML and C++ Qt-based versions. And so there's Qt charts, which is available for both in QML and as a Qt extension. Either way, it's something that you have to install over the Qt maintenance tool. There's an alternative, which is Chart.js based and MIT licensed for QML. And for C++, there is QWT, Qt Widgets for Technical Applications, which is licensed as a modified LGPL, though they have a bit of their own license name. And it's basically an LGPL license where they waive some of the things in their code, I think, which otherwise would be under LGPL. That's so far I understand it, but I'm not an expert. Got to look at that myself, and you probably also have to take a look at that. And KD Charts is now, since the release, which just happened like a few days after this lightning talk, in 3.0, which is now MIT licensed, and this makes it like, as it's based on Qt, if you use Qt in an LGPL version, that makes this supersede the MIT license, in my opinion. And if you have a commercial license for Qt, then it's MIT licensed. So you can use it either way, and it's not really like like Qt charts. So let's start with a QML alternative. This looks nice on the first glance. It's it's charts.js and in an old version 2.93. The 3.0 version of Chart.js is something they could not use or cannot use for this anymore, as that version uses web workers, and that then isn't available to you in QML, so they cannot basically put that into it. Maybe that has changed in the meanwhile, but that's today's availability of libraries supporting this on GitHub. Usage from the examples I looked at, this was more like a proof of concept. Like I was wondering how I actually, import graphs from C++, the data into the graphs. Like if I have a model or just a vector with this data in it, vector of ins 235, and I want to make a bar chart. How do I do that? And QML widget and QWidget would allow to use this also with a QWidget based application. Then Qt charts itself. It draws rather nice charts and is graphics view based, as I found out when I looked at the QML documentation, because there you are then finding a disclaimer that you need to replace your Q application class with a Q application class, because that's a dependency that you get through the graphics view framework. It's under GPL or commercial license, and you need to install it from the Qt maintenance tool. So this is not in Qt, and it's not under the normal LGPL license of Qt. You need to go to the maintenance tool and select it, and then have it installed. Once you do that, it will be available to you in Qt Creator. So this is a code example. Just been looking at this, and this is basically just a quick hello world for charts, where I tried to have one of those charts in a program, and every time I click on the button, it will generate a new random graph with 3 lines and random points. Works rather nicely. But with the GPL, of course, I thought, like, if I would need to really be based on that, wouldn't it be nice to do something else with it? What if we could put that in the own executable and not have it as a library, which would have to be a GPL and GPL license, not LGPL. And so we could make this a server class, a server application, right? Qt has this TCP server class, so when we use Qt as a server, we could use this Qt TCP server class, which I think is all that we would need. And then you would have this application, which probably has to be a GUI application, because the charts are drawn in an UI context, and hence you need to have a UI application. You would then send a chart request, which probably would be JSON, right? And you would get a response. And that could be either writing a custom response, writing it as a binary or like as a base 64 string into JSON, or like there's actually 2 modes which I'd like to promote in this implementation. I would like to also have the option that the chart request already gives me a file destination, and then the GUI application draws a chart, scales it to the size, and writes it to the file destination. And the client would, of course, need to create those chart data objects, would have a bit of an API for that. It would write these to JSON. It would need to figure out the size which the graph should be, and then what destination mode you want to use, like write to a file or get it as a binary, which probably is also an image, like a QImage, and then read that in and display it. And of course, have a signal fired when the chart is returned from the server. And I'm also looking at the chart.js example. If it's working in Qt 6, probably it does. Just getting my fingertips a bit dirty with QML would be nice. Writing a small contained Qt application as a server client, displaying various things which are GPL, would also be really nice. And having a client with it, and et cetera, et cetera. This is small, contained, nice things to do with that, But if you actually want to have graphs in your application, that's a bit not very lightweight, right? I don't want to call it heavy. And in my own setting, it would be okay, but it's not really a big alternative. Dragging in JavaScript into QML and QML probably doesn't make your application lightweight if you don't have those dependencies already. And just having a second executable, it's okay, but it makes things not easier, right? So I've looked at Qt widgets for technical applications. That's in principle a good alternative if you need more complicated technical widgets. Definitely look at that. For simple charts, it seems to be a bit of an overkill, in my opinion. And I think the better alternative is the KD chart library from KDAP, which is now released in a 3.0 version, which is C++ and Qt based. It actually allows you to feed a model to the chart itself, and the chart just displays the model, so it integrates nicely into Qt applications. I do not really know if they support QML. That's something you probably have to figure out on your own. I guess they do, but QML is not my main code. It's not my main use case, so I don't know. So that's an open question. And with that, I want to thank you for your attention, and see you next time.